Hello again, ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs, and myself. We are actually looking at the final stretch. This is the Glatorian Issues of my Bionicle comic collection, and also part 15 of the current state of my Bionicle comics collection, and we have made it far. Now you can see these ones have the usual Ziploc feature that I've been using for this long, now that I'm getting into the bagging and boarding one. I also do have this recent purchase that was bagged, not boarded, and I'm not really all that impressed with the condition of it, honestly, but we'll get into that a little more detail later. I'm hoping it's just this kind of bag that's making it look worse than it really is. But first things first, let's get into this new area that we're in. This Bara bag that is coming in. Get that out of the way. But looking here, this is issue 1, January 2009 of Bionicle Glatorian, and probably the only one of any of the comics, I want to say, that has like this sort of sideways cover art here. Now, everything's kind of, tilted over 90 degrees there for us. We have some Scrawl and Glatorian going at it. And it's something different for sure. Now, I thought maybe the quality of this one was a little bit worse off at first glance, but maybe it isn't too bad. You see here, this one has that kind of bend near the spine. I don't like. Maybe it's not that as prominent. Definitely not as prominent as some of the other ones. But you can also see that some of the back cover peeks over on the front. I don't think any of that is bad though, because this one is looking pretty good. A first issue of Glatorian. I'm kind of satisfied with it. The corners, just taking a quick glance, are sharp, and I'll try to show that here on the camera too. This is what I would classify as the top part of the cover, and the bottom right here. If it'll focus a bit, I'm gonna stop getting it that close to the camera. Maybe I don't know how it works out. Then it wants to refocus 20 times. I do not get it sometimes. But if I move everything away, there we go. And it's looking good. This is issue number 1. And again, I'm kind of decently surprised about how well this one is kept, because with a lot of these newer comics, I was trying so hard to preserve the old ones first coming into it and everything like that, I wasn't really paying too much attention to these newer ones. I was just kind of leaving them out in the open a little bit longer than we needed to. But now that I do have this open, this is exactly what I was talking about in terms of like, oh, I think there was like misprints going on and things like that, because this is probably not even a good comic, because it has like this weird effect on some of the pages where like I don't know how to describe it. Like there's a 3D thing going on. Let me see if I can find a good example of it for you somewhere in here. Maybe it was just with that one page. Well, let's see if I can even find it anymore. Well, since we're here, look, we got ourselves, mid comic little advertisement here. It's certainly in a whole new fashion than we've seen in the past there for us. I'm not sure the direction they were trying to go with Bara Magna. I think it was just to be an epilogue. Some people may have thought it was like a soft reboot or something thereabouts. And now that I did mention like the 3D'ing effect, I can't really find anything on it. Oh wait, no, here we go. And maybe it's completely intentional. I have no idea, but maybe if somebody comes around and watches it, you can tell me if that's a misprint. You see how it's like that red and that blue around each of the speech bubbles, even on the other page there for us. I don't know. It kind of blurs it out for me, and I think that's not the only page, but There's another one where it just kind of blurs the text out a bit, or maybe that is completely okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. I don't think I'm going to put a yellow sticky on this one just because this one seems to be in good condition the way it is. Maybe in the future I can get a sticky for it to show that I can get something a little bit newer if possible, or something that doesn't seem to have that weird effect to it. But most interesting thing, without a doubt, is that sideways art, which I think is the only comic in Bionicle that has it just like that. And going into issue 2 here, there's some pretty interesting cover art again. I guess a new artist came around for it. They say they're really going back to the roots on trying to maintain everything as visually as accurate as to the actual sets themselves, or something thereabouts. Issue 2 looking good. March 2009 is when this one had come into my life and many others. Taking a quick glance on the inside, not too much of that artifacting that I mentioned in the last comic, but it just felt like Glatorian was having a lot of those issues for me, because I think we're going to run into maybe a couple others where there's like these lines and things going across. I don't know. Anyways, a little bit more here. Another, um, the villagers of Barra Magna, the Agori, of course. Um, just a little advertisement midway through, and it's not bad. It's not bad. This one is also very excellent condition. Um, Now, of course, these are the newest in my collection, so the spine and everything is looking fantastic. Maybe some creasage here and there as the glare shows, but nothing that is potentially damaging to the whole mess. The corners are pretty sharp. In fact, all the corners are looking sharp. Sorry if you're hearing a squeaking thing in the background. That's the dog playing with its toy. But I'll try to get through before any of that keeps going on there for us. But I'm going to say this one is very good. And on the back here, we have ourselves the advertisement for Bionicle, The Legend Reborn, another movie after all this time. I think there was about a 6-year gap, or I don't know, maybe that's a little extreme, but there was a big gap in between this movie and the previous one there for us. This one is not Miramax. This one seems to be by Universal, and I guess some subsidiary animation company, and they really do stick true to the actual styles of the sets themselves, which is unique. Whereas the more humanoid or androgynous, I don't know how to describe it, forms of like the Mask of Light and others there for us. Essentially speaking, female Bionicle looked a lot more feminine in that one, and many other ways. Rudaka being a very good example there for us. And in fact, just one more here that we have to go over. Um, this is issue 3 of Glatorian. This one I had purchased on Amazon. I'm kind of ashamed to say I did, because given the age of this particular comic, I'm kind of surprised that it's as poor in condition as it is. And now maybe you're looking at it, or ooh, man, how can you look at it? There we go. Look at it and see that it's really not that terrible. I think when I got it in the mail, I was just thinking, oh, it's going to look as new as all the other ones that I have there for us. And looking through here, you can see the spine is not too terrible either. I think maybe I was definitely just judging this one a little bit too hard when it finally came into my system there for us. But corners relatively sharp. Maybe not as sharp as some of the other ones I have there for us, but they are looking really good. And I guess for that, I really don't have too much to say about it, other than that this is definitely the first appearance of Toa Madanui onto a cover art there for us. Something we're not really surprised to be hearing about at this particular point. and I'm gonna have to go see why my dog is making a fuss. Probably has to go outside, and I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'll go ahead and wrap this up very quickly here for us. Put this one inside of its bag, and then we'll just do a quick review on all of these. And there we go for issues 1, 2, and 3 of Glatorian. Looking fantastic. And I don't know if I have much more to share beyond all of this. Other than the fact that this one was a special one, it may not be the best condition in the rest compared to the rest of my Glatorians, but the fact that it is the first appearance of Toa Madanui, or Glatorian, depending on whichever uh, you know nomenclature you want to go with. Good stuff. So I guess with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. You guys have yourselves a good one. Do take care.